Hello, this is a quick guide to show you how to download, install, activate and run Omniscope on Windows, and if you have a team or enterprise license, how to configure it and run it as a server. So first step, go on the website, click on download button, and so you're presented with two links, one to download the more stable rock build, as we call it, or the most recent latest daily build. In this case, I'm going to download the latest rock that is just out, and a download will start. I'm going to stop it because I've already downloaded on my machine. And so in your download folder, you'll see this Visokio Omniscope installer .exe file. So you just need to double click. By double clicking, you are starting the installer, and a Windows will prompt to show you, some steps to go through. So while this unpacking is going on, so yeah, yes, the Windows here shows you which shortcuts you want to create on your desktop, because the installer bundles both Omniscope Evo and Omniscope Classic. In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure Omniscope Evo. By all means, accept the license agreement, click on install, and the installer will unpack. Wait a minute. When the setup is over, click finish, and then either find the Omniscope Evo shortcut on your desktop or start it by typing Evo in your start menu, and you see a splash screen. And to get started, the first step is activating Omniscope. Paste your license key or start the free trial, and when the activation is successful, Omniscope will automatically close and restart. And then this is it. Next time you want to start Omniscope Evo, just type Omniscope Evo or double click on the shortcut on your desktop. And to stop it, so you'll have the Omniscope Evo icon on the system tray. So with a right click, you can exit to access the admin or opening the browser window. At this stage, we've done the activation. So what we can do is to working with the app, if you're just interested in Omniscope Professional, or configure it as a server. So the first thing to do is to click on the admin button here and set up the admin user. For the first time, you set up the admin credential. When the admin user is set up, you can access all the settings and logs. So the first thing I would do is to click on this web server settings here and configure the sharing folder. Essentially is the projects folder. In my case, by default, is in your user home, Omniscope server, where is the default installation. And it's called files. You can customize this, and this location will be essentially the root where all your projects will be saved. The following section to configure is the networking. Now, as you can see, Omniscope is running locally on my machine, and there is no web server running to serve external users. So go in the network setting, tick run external web server, optionally defining which is the listening address. And what I recommend is to use HTTPS as a protocol and always redirect HTTP to HTTPS. And by default, as you can see, we bundle a self-signed certificate, but for proper SSL and HTTPS configuration, you would have to add your own. So once this is done, I have to save changes, and to apply this, I would have to restart Omniscope for all these settings to take effect. Simply go here, exit, and then start Evo again. Go back to the admin app. As you can see now, Omniscope is serving onto my external network adapter. After this networking, what I'll do is to configure users. So configure the users works in a way that For each folder, you can create custom permissions groups. Per folder, you can edit permissions. For instance, I could go here, click on Edit Permissions. You have both anonymous public users decide when a person is not authenticated, what kind of permission does he have. You can decide, the individual permission for anonymous users, or you can say, create a new group, and for each group, give it a name, configure the group permissions, and for instance, I can give yes to all, and then define for this group which are the users. So how do I authenticate this group? For instance, for simplicity, I'm gonna just add a couple of username and password. So once your users are defined, last step for a server installation is to configure the workflow jobs to run in parallel, especially if you're serving multiple users. So in settings section, you go to advanced, and you see in the workflow down here the number of concurrent workflow jobs you want to allow. So I may say 4. So you save change. Also in this case, you will have to restart Omniscope for these changes to take effect. To recap, first configure the admin user, then configure the projects folder, then configure your user and the networking aspect, and allow concurrent workflow jobs to execute, if you like. Optional steps. Disk manager section. So Omniscope has got some disk allocation you want to configure. In this section, you can decide whether to customize the location or to set up this allocation with some fixed capacity. So this is something for you guys to be aware. Make sure that Omniscope is running on SSD drive, I would say, so that you have best performance. The final step, optional, is to run Omniscope as a service on Windows. So if you go to your user home, update a local Visokio Omniscope app, there is a service folder located with some batch file to install Visokio as a service. You just need to execute it, and Omniscope will be set up as a Windows service. Final recommendation, if you have any issue whatsoever with installation, if you go to the server health section, there is a way to download the app diagnostic as a zip file and send them to support@visokio.com. With these diagnostics, we'll be able to help you and sort your installation. Thank you for watching. Bye.